Well, that was disturbing. Glitch are on a generational run right now, from SMG4, Murder Drones, and the Amazing Digital Circus to now the Gaslight District and Knights of Guinevere. Never had such a small team been this consistently impressive in, quite frankly, ever, with Glitch the other day just revealing the full trailer to their upcoming Knights of Guinevere, not only their latest new series, but their first ever solely 2D animated series. But it doesn't stop there, as this trailer just revealed a whole lot of important stuff that we need to talk about. So let's get to it. Hey guys, it's the Pink King here, and where do I even begin with this trailer? I don't know how they keep managing to impress me time and time again, but Glitch really have found a way to make their mark in this indie animation space, and in doing so have created a bunch of memorable and well-made content. And just from this few seconds of footage that we got, I think we might have another certified banger on our hands here, peeps. But something we need to talk about is the one pulling the strings here, with this new show being the brainchild of one Dana Terrace. And if that name sounds familiar to you, it really should, because she is also the brilliant mind behind the Owl House series on Disney, of which seem to be a big influence on the world they're trying to show here with this new project. As after watching the trailer for myself, oh boy, let me tell you, it's not for the faint of heart, as it seems like this series is going to be a more psychological thriller that will tackle some really heavy themes, and some have begun to even speculate that this show could be an allegory for Dana's time at Disney, or even just a criticism of Disney as a company, as when looking at the synopsis of the show, it seems to be really telling. And I quote, "Knights of Guinevere is a psychological thriller that welcomes you to a planet-wide theme park in the clouds and the shadows below, where a broken princess android is 2 dreamers' tickets to better lives or the end of them." Now, looking at this synopsis and the trailer itself, I think it's definitely safe to say that this series will have a lot of influence taken from the more negative side of Disney, which honestly is a really awesome idea. The idea of an evil family-friendly corporation possibly doing heinous crimes against nature has a lot of potential here to be something really interesting. It's dark and mysterious. Quite frankly, it's the perfect match for the team at Glitch, with this practically being their bread and butter. Now hold on, peeps. Do you want to be featured in a video? Just like Jonah Joestar, Robotron 9000, and the awesome Daniel Rivera? Then you need to subscribe right now. I'm on a mission to overtake the nasty, the cruel Slime the Scrabble, and I need your help in order to do so. So, if you want to help me on my mission and be featured in a video at the same time, then you need to subscribe right now and comment down below saying you subscribed, and who knows, it might just be your name that's the one featured in the very next video. But with that, let's get back into Knights of Guinevere's. But before we go on much further, probably the biggest highlight for me was the animation on display here. Not just the fact it's 2D, but also the style that they're trying to go for here with the aesthetic. I'm really loving this sort of unnerving vibe that they're going for, where this animation looks really pretty enough to be a Disney cartoon, but there's just a few things off about it that make it feel unnatural, or like a wholesome style that's becoming corrupted. The visuals already from the few scenes that we have here are actually kind of mind-blowing. They've got an almost fantastical cyberpunk style going on here, and it's really effective at being creepy. In particular, this shot I found from the trailer of the girl looking down at one of the android princesses, it looks so unnerving. I don't know why, but this shot in particular really stood out to me as something to look out for, because man, it's giving me goosebumps, man, just looking at this. And for the rest of the shots that don't look creepy, you can definitely see the sort of Owl House influences in stuff like the human characters, but it's not one for one, which I'm very grateful for. As you can tell, it's by the same people who made the Owl House, but it's also unique enough to be its own sort of thing. And in general, with the animation going on here, This is going to be a major risk, not only for Glitch, but Dana and her team, as she has mainly been working on much more kid-friendly cartoons within her career. Stuff like The Owl House, but was also a storyboard artist for Gravity Falls, and I believe directed some episodes to the DuckTales reboot, which was a fantastic series in its own right, by the way. I love that show. But all of those shows were mainly for kids, so this next step into a more adult animated angle is a very challenging one. Only a few people have actually managed to make that transition from kids' cartoons to adult animation successfully, with the biggest one off the top of my head being Genndy Tartakovsky. But if they manage to make this work, not only the adult tone, but the intrigue and the writing of the series too, then I can really see Night of Guinevere being a massive success. But there is something I also need to point out here too, because I feel like as good as this looks, not enough people are talking about this major problem going on here, because it could be something, quite frankly, unfortunate if it goes unnoticed for too long now, because this problem has been plaguing Glitch for a while now, and that's just how many episodes each one of their shows gets. Now, I know that sounds a bit silly, but listen to me here, because as much as I've really enjoyed Glitch over the past few years, I cannot deny that they have a real problem with how many episodes they give something. Take the Digital Circus, for example. That show has only 3 episodes left, despite so much of the world being unexplored. And even stuff like Murder Drones, that show, despite how good it was, has a very big criticism against it for the ending feeling kind of rushed. They seem to be so quick to end these shows, even though there's so much more you could still do with them, like with the Digital Circus. I feel like we've only scratched the surface of that world and what's possible in it. Like, we haven't even explored the outside of the circus in the fairgrounds, the stuff that was introduced in the pilot and never brought up again. We haven't even seen that yet, and the show's already coming to an end in a few episodes from now. And so I have to question whether Night of Guinevere is going to get the proper amount of time in order to tell its story, because from everything we've seen so far, it seems to have a lot of potential with its story, and seems to be something that needs to have enough time in order to get everything it wants to say across properly. And I don't know, it would be a real shame if they were to cut the story short because they wanted to get it over so quickly. So if I had to have any complaints, I'd say that'd be my only real concern going into the series. But then again, we don't know how many episodes it's going to get, and who knows, they might make it work. But in conclusion, I'm very excited to see what they've got cooking up here. Not only is it a visually stunning show from the looks of it, but it also seems to have a lot of dark undertones, and I just know that the people who love lore are going to have a field day with this one. But what about you, peeps? Are you excited for this series, or are you a bit skeptical? Let me know down in the comments exactly what you guys have to say. I'm very interested to see what it is everyone else thinks of this trailer, whether you have the same hypes or any other concerns. Be sure to tell me what you guys think down in the comments. And if you enjoyed today's video and want to see more content just like this, then be sure to like and subscribe for more content, as not only does it tell me you want to see more stuff just like this, but it helps me make that stuff for you guys a whole lot faster. But with that, peeps, it's been the Pink King here, and I will see you all next time.